Romance. Something us comic artists consider fiction. Something so unattainable because of our figurine collection and our Dakimakura pillowcases. Unless you find yourself on Geek Love or at Comic-Con speed dating events, love is not in the air for you weebs. Let's roll that intro. What is going on, my beautiful laptops? Welcome back to Monitor Comics, the channel where we talk about the trials and tribulations of creating your own comic, manga, or webtoon. If you haven't checked out any of my previous videos, I highly recommend you check them out so you can learn all of my juicy secrets to paneling, creating characters, and much more. In today's video, I want to talk about a topic so dear and near to my heart, the shoujo genre. If you're a Western-inspired comic artist, you can just think of these comics as love stories. Think more like fresh romance and The Prince and the Dressmaker. There's also a whole subgenre called the Mahou Shoujo, but I'll cover that in another video. For all you weeaboo trash out there, you may have heard of modern hit shoujo stories like My Love Story and the 2019 Fruits Basket adaptation. Shoujo is a powerful genre, so stick around until the end of the video so I can tell you all about the ins and the outs of love comics. Merriam-Webster, bestow upon us your definition of the word shoujo. So, let's break it down. Like all the shonen magazines aimed at young boys, there are just as many shoujo magazines aimed at young girls. Some publications you may have heard of, including Chow Magazine, Ribbon Magazine, and Margaret Magazine. Looking at many shoujo works, there's many story themes and tropes that most seem to follow. The first obvious one is the romance genre. Most shoujo stories are told from the point of view of a young girl in either a drama or a slice of life story. Of course, other genres like music or sports could work well in a shoujo manga and are often thrown in, but you just have to remember that the large demographic is girls ages 12 to 17. Some common tropes that are easy to find in shoujo works include Baishonen, which is essentially the reverse harem. If guys find a group of big titty waifus stimulating, then growing girls will find slender and pretty boys stimulating. Another common trope is the love triangle. Usually shoujo manga pin two best boys against each other, so the fan base can rip each other apart and take sides on who the main girl should end up with. Some common pitfalls of shoujo titles include the main protagonist having little to no actual personality, yet the main love interest somehow falls head over heels for her. Another pitfall is overusing the love at first sight trope. This is way too oversaturated these days and plainly just boring at this point. To spice things up, maybe make your character more rebellious and don't have everyone just falling right over them for no reason. A third pitfall common in shoujo manga is the jerk-ass character who somehow gets the girl. I don't know how many times I've caught myself violently suplexing my computer screen every time a tsundere asshat somehow woos the heroine. Yet the nice guy who treats her well gets pushed to the side. This is too much like real life. Now let's talk about how to deviate from the mold. Diversity is the big one I want to mention. Take a look at all of these shoujo heroines. Most have the same cutesy girl look. Maybe make your protagonist more edgy looking like in Nana, or of a different body type. Maybe instead of following the common prude tsundere archetype, you experiment with something more raunchy or snarky. More recently, I've seen men become the protagonists of shoujo works. While this is a step in the right direction, don't be afraid to experiment with characters of many sexual orientations and gender identities. A forgotten concept in the chick flicks are unconventional endings where the heroine realizes she doesn't need a man to be happy. For your shoujo projects, experimenting with this female empowerment or independence can make for an interesting take on the already well-established genre. Art-wise, shoujo manga have a unique look to them. The girls tend to have large eyes with pronounced eyelashes. Every character tends to be slender and boys have massive yaoi hands to caress the reader. Fashion tends to be of bigger importance in shoujo titles. Pretty rare to see the same character in the same outfit 2 days in a row, unless they have a school uniform. Most shonen titles have a character who bought the same iconic look for every day of the week. You don't be like that. Effects are also a little bit different in shoujo manga. Instead of sharp focus lines or speed lines, screen tones are used a lot more often and gradient effects are used to express different moods. For a more in-depth analysis of shoujo effects, please click the card appearing in the right-hand corner right now. In that video, I go over each manga effect and when each are most appropriate to use. Similarly, panel layouts are also a little bit unique in shoujo manga. Sometimes panels don't even exist, and full-page spreads are favored more than usual templates. For more information about that, I'll also leave a card in the top right corner, so you can check that out if you haven't already. In that video, I go over many different panel layouts and when each is most applicable. For further research, I want to recommend a few shoujo manga you should consider checking out. The first one being Maid-sama. This series is a classic and has a main heroine who isn't just a nice flat girl. Her rebellious personality makes her stand out as a shoujo protagonist. Another work I'd recommend would be My Love Story. Although cliche at times, this story does a great job of creating squeal moments with an unconventional main character. A final recommendation would be Nana. I mentioned this earlier, but this work is incredibly well renowned in the whole anime community, and delves into some heavy topics such as drug abuse and suicide. This manga fucked me up as a kid. Please read it. In conclusion, shoujo manga has the power to make young girls and grown men cry. With pretty imagery and pure romance, the shoujo genre inspires young children to believe in a joyous adulthood and look forward to the adventures they will embark on as they grow older. Keep dreaming, kids. If you found any value in this video, please drop this video a like. Please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more of my juicy content. Be sure to check out my previous videos so you can learn all of my juicy secrets in manga making. Like always, you can find the links to all my social media accounts down in the description below. If you guys could share this video around, I'll give you a digital hug. Please drop a comment down below on what you'd like to see next. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.